Just a nice neutral stance. And then I would say you don't even need, like, sometimes we go ease of transition, because once we come down, it's going to be into a little bit of that low malasana squat. So get your feet underneath you, ungrip your toes. So right away, we just want to feel like we can loosen up our toes just a touch. Can you distribute your weight so it's a little bit more into your heels and slightly into the balls of the foot? And then you could lift your toes and just give them a good touch of wiggle if they were feeling wiggly. And then once you feel like you've distributed the weight into the heels and the balls of your feet, mostly into your heels for today, start to bounce your body. And it's a light and gentle bounce. And then you want to let it bounce the wateriness of your body. So as you start to bounce, let go of any gripping that you can. So like, give your butt a touch and make sure you're not gripping your butt muscles, and give your belly a little touch and jiggle. Make sure you're not gripping your abdominal muscles too much. And then let all your adipose tissue just wants to kind of bounce with the wateriness. So let your body bounce. If it feels safe and comfortable for a second, see if you can just close your eyes down, because even with your eyes closed down, you might notice a little wiggly light exchange from behind your eyelids with that bouncing. You might notice the rhythm of the bounce in your breath. Then you're going to notice, did you shift forward into the balls of your feet and start to grip your toes? Can you bring it back just a touch so it's a little bit more weight shifted into your heels? Soft butt muscles, and everything just wants to be like as loose and goosey as it can be. Let it bounce, let it bounce, let it bounce. And then for anybody who feels it, you're going to put a big beat into your chest. And I'm only going to do one-handed, so I'm not banging against the microphone, but you're going to just get a nice, good thumping action across your heart space. Think, stimulate the bony structure. Keep that bounce going if you can. Beat around your heart. Take one more moment there. We're going to step our feet just a little bit wider, reduce your bouncing, and now go into a twist. And as you twist, you're going to let your arms be like loose. We call it old school shirt sleeve twist. So you want to imagine that you put your dad's old big suit coat on, and your arms don't fit in the sleeves. So you could just let them fling and wing all around. And you're going to as you let your arms be loose in that shirt sleeve twist, they wrap around your body and give a little thump. So then we think, stimulate the stomach on the left side, stimulate the liver on the right, stimulate the kidneys on the back side. Wake up the spine, wake up your nervous system. I should have warned Christine in general. Sometimes we get weird up in here. We do some weird stuff, but it's all beneficial. It's all good for the body. It's good for the nervous system. All right, take one more second to find that little twist and hit. And then we're going to take it right into the hips. So you're going to start with this is that little bop of the hips from side to side. Get a little rhythm, a little swing of the hips. Make sure your knees feel good. Make sure your ankles feel good. Transition your weight slightly back into the balls of the feet and the heels so you're not gripping your toes. Give your toes a little lift. And then just for a moment, notice your foundation underneath you, that nice solid ground underneath you coming up to meet you and support you. And now we're going to go back to beating ourselves up. So you're going to take your hands and you're going to just bang against your hips. Think, wake up the side glutes and wake up that bony trochanter. So you're going to give a nice stimulating hit to your hips, just enough so it feels good, not enough to injure yourself. Notice if you shifted your weight into your toes, can you bring it back into your heels, lift your toes, give them a little wiggle. All right, now keep hitting your hips, and I'm going to talk where we're going next, and you're going to tune into your own body. So it's going to be a big, like, throw it up and throw it down. And when we do it, you're going to be like loosey-goosey, like you're just trying to wave the waters of your body. But for some of us, that's too much, right? So some of us, it's just going to be like a little wave here. And for some of us, it's going to be no wave at all, and you're just going to stick with whatever movement felt the best that you came into. So maybe it's a twist, maybe it's the hit. But if that throwing up and down, you're going to put a lot of space between your legs, and like you're waving the waters over your body. So you're going to go nice and slow. Make sure it feels good. We want to move at the speed of trust. So take your time, soft knees, throw your arms up and down, soft butt, soft belly. And we want to shoot for a soft belly best we can. So as you come into that folded position, think, let all your abdominal muscles go. All right, one more big throw up and down, and then we're going to go into our goddess squat. So you're going to come back up now, step your feet to a nice wide position, turn your toes out, and then sink your butt down. So you're in this nice solid stance. Feel your feet underneath you. Give your toes a little lift, give them a little wiggle. We just want to make sure we're not curling up the toes or sort of gripping in our toes for a moment. And then we're going to come slightly forward. I'm spinning sideways. So we're going to come slightly forward. So think butt a little bit back, hands to the thighs, hands to your knees, hands in a grip that feels like it's sturdy and it helps hold your frame. And then once you've got your way there, we're going 3 big breaths, maybe 1 vacuum. Don't worry if it doesn't fly up. When we do abdominal vacuum, Christine, it's a false inhalation. So we close off the nose, mouth, and throat, or we close off the glottis, and we take a false inhalation, and the diaphragm lifts up and the rib cage lifts, opens, and expands. So just know all this stuff is going to show up as I'm going to start to cue you. So take a nice big breath as if you're trying to fill your rib cage up, and imagine that you're trying to put space into the sides of the ribs so that sunshine shines into your lungs. So take a nice big rib cage filling breath. And then as you exhale, think soft belly, let your air go. Inhale, big 360 breath, suck that sunshine into the space between the bones of your ribs. Exhale, get a little longer in your spine, reach out through the crown of your head. All right, one more big breath here. Inhale, 360 breath, fill your rib cage up. And then a slow exhale to prepare. You swallow, you close off nose, mouth, and throat, or pinch your nose closed, keep your mouth closed. And then you take a false inhalation. Don't let any air come in, and catch a little suction underneath the diaphragm so it feels like your rib cage lifts, opens, and expands, and you hold breath for just a moment. And then when you're ready, release your air, come back up. We're going to do a little funky grip. So you're going to go wrapping the hands around just so that one wrist crosses the other and then the palms meet. And then once you got your funky grip, bring it up above your head and start to circle your ribs. This one in particular is some little somatic fascial magic trick. So we do these funky grip circles because it puts a little bit of novel movement into the fascial system of our body. So think your collagen stuff, the crystal jelly matrix that makes you human shaped. And it does this little magic trick of sort of loosening some things up so that we come down into our low yoga squat. It makes a little bit more space available. I don't know why it works. I just know that it does. All right, take one more circle in this direction. And then when you're ready, reverse it and go the other way. As you go here, take a second, feel into your feet underneath you. Are you gripping your toes? Can you relax your toes just a touch? One more circle around, and then slow release your funky grip. Take a second, shoot out your shoulders. And now we're going to come right down into our Malasana yoga squat. So you're going to grab your yoga block. I'll say go for most of us, medium setting, wide. That's going to cover the width of our bum. But if you have very tight hip flexors or very tight knees, possibly tall setting, you're going to just play with what feels available. So you're going to start by putting your block down on the ground. Nice wide position with the legs. I'm going to go both ways just so you'll be able to see. So we're going to come into our yoga squat, but with a little bit of support. So you're going to put your block underneath your butt, walk your legs out to a really nice, comfortable width. Start by just taking your arms into your knees and inner thighs and gently press out, get nice and tall in your spine. We're going to soften in a second, but we just want to make sure we feel our foundation. So you want to think about that block underneath your butt. Does it feel good? Could you give your butt a little wiggle and you feel still pretty sturdy? Do your feet feel like a nice solid foundation? Could you lift your toes and give them a little wiggle? And then once you feel like you've got a nice foundation, then you're going to soften and put a little flexion into your spine. So you're going to fold forward, let your fingertips find the ground, let your head soften down just a touch. And then we're going to be here for a little bit. So this one's going to be one of those yin postures. So we're going to hold for about 3 minutes. So you want to make sure it's a sustainable shape. But because we're trying to get into that plastic tissue, that connective tissue, the ligaments and the joints, once you get into your shape, then you want to ask yourself, like, what muscles can you soften? Can you soften the erector muscles along the length of your spine? Could you let your inner thigh muscles soften, which means maybe your knees will dip in just a touch. Let them do what they want to do. Are you holding or gripping in your butt muscles? Your butt muscles are supported on the yoga block. Can you let your butt muscles soften? So when we do our yang, if you will, yoga, or that more flow style yoga where we vinyasa it and we put one breath to each movement, a lot of times, typically, we're just inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose, breath appropriate, and then we do some pranayama or breath controlled work along the way. In our yin postures, we use breath as a barometer. So you want to make sure that you can take a nice big inhalation. You want to make sure you can take a slow, soft exhalation so that we're not gripping in our breath. We're not like jarred or feeling like really tense. You want to be in a shape that feels sustainable, soft jaw, soft and easy breath coming in and out. Sometimes you can get into a shape and the breath kind of catches for a moment and you can use the breath to ease into the shape. And then sometimes the breath is going to be an indicator that you're too far in and you want to come out and ease out of the shape. So you always want to check in with the breath along the way. Make sure everything feels good. We've got about 50 seconds left here and I'm just talking you through it because I want to make sure that you feel like time has passed, but you're not doing too much effort. Soften your fingertips, soften your shoulders, soften your armpits. Got about 25 seconds left here. Just notice your breath. And then to tell you, today is just a not typical day. We're doing things in a little bit of out of order situation. So after we're done with this malasana squat, we're going to come down onto our back and do a little bit of supine twisting. So in this forward flexion position with your spine, just notice your breath in the back of your rib cage. And then when you're ready, slowly, slowly, slowly come up and out of your fold. Take your time as you come up. When we come out of a posture, sometimes in that yin, you're going to feel like this dull ache, like you've aged 30 years in about a matter of 3 minutes. So know that there might be a little bit of that dull ache. Lift your bum up just enough so you can take your yoga block, put it off to the right side of your mat. Come all the way down onto your back and then take a second as you come down. Give your nervous system a moment. Let your back just have that little bit of time so it sort of eases onto the ground. Let your hips have a moment. Notice your breath. And then we're going to do a little double knee supine twist, a slight light dynamic sort of rhythm to it with Apanasana knees to chest in between. So see if you can start by just tucking your knees up toward your chest. And then you're going to see if you can just roll your knees over to the right. Let your right hand anchor them down. Open your left arm up, turn your head to the left. And then just as you find the edge of that twisted position, release it and float through center. Come into Apanasana, knees to chest. And then when you're ready, take your knees a little bit over to the left. Slowly ease them down. Left hand will anchor those legs. Right arm opens up. Turn your head to the right. And then just as you find the end of that, release, come back through center, find that Apanasana, knees to chest. Roll it back over to the right. Knees go to the right, head turns to the left. Ease your way back through center, nice and slow. Take your time. And then take it back over to the left. Knees go to the left, head turns to the right. Ease your way through center. We're going to go one more time through with this light pace, and then we're going to go into it and stay into a twist. Knees go over to the right, head turns to the left. Apanasana, knees to chest, come through center. And then take it over to the other side. Knees drop over to the left, head turns to the right. Come through center, Apanasana. Now we're going to go a little bit more open book style twist. You're going to take your yoga block. I say yoga block, medium height, long setting. You're going to roll over onto your right side. You're going to pop your left knee up onto that yoga block. And then you're going to adjust. So you're in that sort of side lying position. Your low hand is going to anchor your leg onto your yoga block. And then your left arm is going to open up. And then you're going to turn your head as far to the left as it will comfortably go, and then come back to that idea of breath as a barometer. So you're going to see if you can take a nice big inhalation through your nose, fill your rib cage up. Nice slow exhalation through your nose, soft jaw, soft armpits, soft eyebrows. And then as you're hanging out here, we're not going to stay here for a full 3 minutes, but just hanging out for just a little bit of time to notice your support team. Notice what's coming up to meet you and support you. You've got that nice solid ground. Notice any parts of your body that are touching that solidness of the floor beneath you. Notice your yoga block. Before we release our twist on this side, we're going to take 3 big sweeping arm circles in one direction and then 3 big sweeping arm circles going the other way. So you're going to take that left arm, the one that's open out to the side, and you're just going to take it and swing it around in a big circular motion, coming towards your knees, opening up above your head, reaching back around into that open twisted position. And then once you've done about 3 big gigantic circles in one direction, take it in reverse, go the other way. Nice and slow, a little bit of looseness into the shoulder, a little softness into your arm. Nice. And then the next time you come in, we're just going to roll everything over and across to the other side. So you're going to release your knee from the block, grab your block, roll along with you, take it over to the other side, and then we're propping the knee up. So right knee is going to prop up onto the block, adjust so you're in that nice happy side lying position. Right arm is going to open out nice and wide, adjust everything so it feels good. Maybe your head is turned in the opposite direction of your knee, and then you're just going to slow your breath down for a moment. Take a moment to notice any places where you might be gripping or holding tension. Because we're not symmetrical, there might just be times when you're in a shape on one side and you're like, easy, 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 and you get into the shape on the other side, and there's like a moment where you need that time to adjust. So notice your body. Think soft water of your body, let it melt down towards the ground. And then as you let your body melt down into the ground, notice that support team that's coming up to meet you. The floor touching any of your parts of your body, holding you up. Your yoga block holding up your leg and your knee. Take one more moment here. And then 3 big sweeping circles. You're going to take that right arm, and now it's going to take that big sweep around, coming in towards the knee, up above your head, opening back up into that twisted position. And we just want 3 big loose circles so it feels nice and opening up. And then once you've done about 3 and going in one direction, take it in reverse, go the other way. Excellent. And then once you've done about 3 sweeping circles in the other direction, slow roll your way back onto your back, bent knee position, just a little bit of a moment to desensitize. So let your back find that sort of soft neutral. Knees are bent, back is effortless. Take a nice big breath. All right, now we're going to come back up to a seated position. We're going to go into a wide leg seat. We're going to go into a fold and hold it for about 3 minutes. So I'll say we're going to play a little bit with the shape. You're going to Play around with what feels available and good, and then you'll adjust it so it's the one that feels just right to your body. You're going to start by taking your yoga block and you're going to put it a little bit behind you. I'm going to say low setting, wide, so you could sit your butt onto it. So low setting, wide block underneath your butt. Take a second to make sure that feels like a good firm support. And now you're going to kick your legs out nice and wide. And we want to feel like when we're in yin yoga, there is sort of different from our restorative yoga. There is an effort and there is sensation. So you stay somewhere in that like 5 to 7 of sensation, something that you can still breathe comfortably in, but there's a positive stress. So get your legs into that first initial feeling of a slight positive stress. And then if you get here and that block's underneath you and you're like, I can't sit comfortably, this is a no-go for me, get that block out from underneath you. If it feels good underneath you, you're going to keep that positive stress in your legs, and then you're going to walk your hands forward so you feel that second feeling of positive stress come in. For me, I kind of like a little push into my hands, so it feels like I'm just kind of anchoring back into my butt. But that's not for everybody. For some of us, a little bit pressure into the hands puts a little bit more positive stress into the inner thighs. Now, if you got here and you're like, I can't sit comfortably, I can't ease into my breath, get that block out from underneath you, and then put a big bend into your knees. But if everything feels comfortable enough here, notice, check in with that positive stress. And the only thing I'm going to ask you to see if you can soften is your toes. If you are gripping in your toes or your feet, can you soften the soles of your feet and can you soften your toes? Let your awareness come to your feet. Notice what part of your foot is connected to the floor, to the ground beneath you, coming up to meet you and support you. So for me, it's like that, like bottom edge of my heel. Notice what part of your foot is being held up by the floor. Let it get a little heavier into the floor as if the heel is melting down. Soften the soles of your feet, soften your toes. Let that idea of softness kind of travel up the fronts of your shins, over your knees. Still have that positive stress in your inner thigh. You still have a positive stress in your hips, but reduce any effort coming from your feet. Now, if it feels like there's a little bit room to come a little deeper, you're going to walk your hands a little bit further forward. If you get there and you're like, oh no, then you're going to ease yourself right back out. But if it feels good to add just a little bit more positive stress, because sometimes we get to a shape, we find that little bit of ease and then find that there's a little bit more room to go. But sometimes we get into it and then we find there's a little bit more room to ease out. So notice where you're at. Can you keep a soft jaw? Can you keep a steady breath? Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly ease your way back and out of that fold. Take your time. You're going to grab the pits of your knees, help bend your knees, help bring them in and together. And then as you bring them in and together, give a little windshield wiper action. So when you come out of that positive stress, there occasionally will be that little dull ache. So we do a little just wiggly movement just to kind of disperse that stiff, sticky energy around. Now I'm going to spin myself sideways. We're going to go into a little variation of a mermaid seat. So if you can, you'll stay on your block and then you'll adjust if the block doesn't feel good. So for some of us, it's going to feel great. You're going to get your legs a little off to the side, little variation of mermaid. A lot of times we do our mermaid with our deer seat or zigzag seat, but take your legs and just swish them off to the side like they're just tucked under your skirt. And you're going to see how that feels. If you get there and the block doesn't feel like it's just right, scooch it out of the way. If it feels good to be on the block, you're going to lean over towards the side where your legs are bent. Get a little lateral flexion. And then we're just going to put a little palm rotation into the work. So you're going to flip your palm down and flip your palm up. And it just takes this little tension into the fascia and a little bit of soft release. We want to feel like there's a slight sense of positive stress up into the side of the rib cage, down towards your waist. And then a little bit of novel movement. Flip your palm up and flip your palm down. Nice. Take one more moment there and then lift up easy, easy, easy. Take your time as you come up, and then we're going to swing and swish the legs around. So take your time as you reset yourself. One side might be different from the other, right? One knee might behave a little different. One hip might behave a little different. One side of the rib cage might behave a little bit different. So get into your seat, see if that feels sustainable. And then we're leaning over towards that bent knee side. So you're going to reach up and over, find that lateral flexion. And then if that lateral flexion feels good, add that novel movement. Flip the palm up and flip the palm down. Keep this work going for a few minutes. Notice that foundation underneath you, the floor, your yoga block, your spine, the bony prominences of your shoulder, your arm. All right, now where we're going to head next is we're going to take it into some lunging stuff. So we're going to be in low lunge position. If you feel like your knees are a little bit mischievous today, maybe cushion your knees, maybe take your yoga block along the way so it gives that nice handhold and support. Take one more palm flip, and then when you're ready, ease your way out nice and slow. Give your shoulders a little shoop and a little wiggle, and then just spin yourself around so you find a little tabletop position. So you're going to come around in a way that makes good sense to your body. Have your yoga block convenient and nearby. And now we're going to hop the right leg forward. So you're going to hop your right leg forward, and then you're going to adjust. So by hopping the leg forward, it typically takes us into sort of a 90-90. We're going to see if we can just walk that left leg back a touch. So it takes you into that slightly more feeling of that dip of your hips. But then we're going to put a little tension into the legs. So imagine that back knee and the front heel are magnets, and they sort of grip towards each other. And then you're going to pull forward and back with that magnet. So your hands can be on the ground if that feels good, or you can come up and away, but you're going to go into slack and then into a little tension. So you're going to slack, soften the muscles, and then you're going to engage the muscles and pull it back just a little bit. So you're going to go in between those spaces. Now, if it feels like a little support would feel good, tall setting of the yoga block, put it in your hand, give yourself that little touch of support. Find that nice transition between a little bit of effort and a little bit of ease. Lovely. One more moment there, and then we're going to come into that more 90-90 lunge. So now you're going to bring it up, hop the foot in or hop the knee forward, go where it feels good. Come a little bit more upright. So now you've got this nice stack. So your head, your heart, your hips, and your knee are all lined up. Spread your toes on that front foot. Lift the arch in your front foot. Now we're going to go arms in that mid-Athena position. So mid-Athena position, it puts a little action into the upper body. So we go fingertips roughly in line with the rib cage, palms facing out. And then we imagine that our arms are in a hula hoop. So we push out into the elbows, we broaden through the chest and the upper back body. We put a little space into the armpits. And then we're going to go one high, one low. So your left knee is down on the ground. That's going to be our high arm. And then the right arm is going to go down. So left arm up, right arm down. But keep that intentional hula hoop push. Gaze forward, take a breath. Now you're going to see if you can get that back foot into dorsiflexion. So you're going to see if you can curl those back toes under. And then a little tuck of your bum. And now we're going to rotate towards the low arm. So you're going to think rib cage, shoulder, head. That's going to be the trajectory of the movement. And then head, shoulder, rib cage, slow return. Do it again. Rib cage, shoulder, head returns, shoulder returns, rib cage returns. Beautiful. One more just like that. Rib cage, shoulder, head returns, shoulder returns, rib cage returns. Nice. All right, now that right leg, you're going to soften everything, and it's going to walk out nice and wide. So take it out to that wider position, relax that dorsiflexion on the back foot. And now we're taking it into that little bit of mobility drill. So you're coming in and out, but in the front end, we did like magnets gripping. Here, you're just going to go out as far as you can comfortably go and then come back in. You're going to see if you can let your knee slightly go past your toes where it feels safe and comfortable. You're going to move at the speed of trust, go nice and slow, come in and out just in a nice fluid way, looking for space, coming away from that space. Excellent. Go for one more in and out. And then we're going to keep this frame, this shape, and we're going to go a little out at the 45. So you're going to come forward, let your hands find the ground, and then you're going to walk your hands out so they're kind of moving towards that left side of your mat or past your left knee. So you're in a little bit of a reach, a slight feeling of a down dog shape with the upper body, but legs are in that slight warrior two position, but with a low grounding position. Take a second to reach the arms out. Take a moment to take a breath. Excellent. When you're ready, slowly, slowly, slowly walk your hands back in, slowly bring that right knee back down. Take a second, give a little pop and a little wiggle of the hips, and then we're going to switch everything to the other side. So you're going to start by hopping that left leg forward. Get that 90-90 lunge first. Then you walk the left knee back just a touch, or excuse me, right knee back just a touch so it feels good. Perhaps your yoga block is your friend. And then we magnet the heel to the knee. So we want to feel like our legs are alive. There's a little touch of effort. And then we find a little bit of that positive stress sink into the hips. And then we pull ourselves back up. But there's a grip in the muscles here. So we want to keep it nice and engaged. Think heel magnet to the knee magnet to the heel. Lovely. Take one more moment there and then we're squaring it up. So you're going to bring it back, slide that foot in or slide the knee forward, square it up, a little tuck of the bum, find that mid-Athena hula hoop of the arms, palms facing forward, good spread of the fingers, fingertips roughly in line with the outer edges of our rib cage. Once you found your way there, right arm up, left arm down. And now we're going to rotate to the left. So keep that good hula hooping idea into your arms. And then we rotate. You're going to rotate ribs, shoulder, head to the left, slow return, head, shoulder, ribs. Do it again. Rotate ribs, shoulder, head, unwind head, shoulder, ribs. One more time. Rotate ribs, shoulder, head, unwind head, shoulder, ribs. Beautiful. Slow release your arms. Now walk that left leg out nice and wide. So one side might be different from the other. So we walk it out to a shape that feels good. And then once you've got your shape, then we come in and out finding a little bit of mobility. So you're just looking for space and then coming back out of it. Great. One more in and out, and then come back in. And now we're going to take it into that fold. So you're going to stay in that nice lunging position. You're going to bring your hands down to the ground, and then you're going to walk them a little over to the right. So you're a little off sides. That heart softens down. Notice your breath. Notice your foundation. Take one more breath. Slow walk your hands back to center. Slowly bring that left knee down so you're in a tabletop position. Once you're in tabletop position, toes curled under so your feet are in a dorsiflexion. And then we're just pulling it forward and back. Butt goes back to the heel, so we'll stretch into the toes. And then shoulders slightly ahead of the wrist so you get that light feeling of stretch into your wrists. Nice. One more rock forward and back, and then we're going to come all the way down prone position. So clear your space in front of you, and we're going to come all the way down onto our belly. Take your time. Walk your hands forward, strong arms, help lower you down, nice sturdy foundation. And then once you've come all the way down, you're going to bend both knees and windshield wiper from side to side. One more windshield wiper from side to side. Toes are going to release down to the end of your mat, and then you're going to scoot your toes out a little bit wider. So you're going to walk your feet so that the feet find the corners of your mat. Once your feet have found the corners of the mat, adjust your kneecaps so that they feel comfortable enough. We're going to bend the knees and bring the heels together like you're making a little frog on the ground. And you're going to hold that position, but you're going to point your toes. So your heels are nice and firmly together like they're magnets now. And then you're going to point your toes. You're going to hold that position. Now think cobras, hands alongside the shoulders, elbows gently in at the ribs, tip of the nose to the ground. We're going to do a slight hatha style, but we're going to hold this position with the legs. So little gentle effort in the legs, tip of your nose to the ground, lift your nose away like you're reaching the back of your head up towards the sky, and then lift your eyes, look forward, lift your chin, lift your chest, lift your gaze, look up towards the ceiling, hold for a moment. And then slow, slow, slow release back down to the ground for a moment. Reduce effort in your feet, reduce effort in your butt muscles, reduce effort in your spine. Tip of the nose comes back to the ground. Now engage your legs, heels magnet together, point your toes. Lift your nose away from the ground like you're lifting the back of your head up towards the ceiling. Lift your eyes, look forward. Lift your chin, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Come up nice and high. Look towards the ceiling, point your toes. Slow release back down. Take your time. Nice and slow and controlled. Tip of the nose returns to the ground. Relax your feet. Relax your butt muscles. Take a breath. One more just like that. Tip of the nose to the ground. Point your toes. Lift your nose like you're reaching the back of your head up towards the ceiling. Lift your gaze. Look forward. Lift your chin. Lift your chest. Eyes look up towards the sky. Slow, slow, slow return to the ground. Soften your pointed toes. Walk your knees back in so they're a little bit in that comfortable position where you can come back to your windshield wipers. Beautiful. One more swish of your feet from side to side. And then we're going to push back to child's pose position, swing it all around so we come onto our back, and we want our yoga block to be convenient when we come down onto our back. So push your way up and back. Big toes together, big toes together, knees apart. Go for the child's pose position. That feels good. When we're saying knees together, oftentimes it supports the low back, can feel pretty nice, but it's a little compressive to the front of the body. Sometimes it feels nicer to walk the knees apart, put a little space in front of the body so your belly and your chest have a little bit of room. Find the shape that feels nice. Take a moment there just to notice your breath. Notice the solid foundation underneath the front of your body. Notice how it creates room in the back of your body to feel into your breath. And then see if you can just take a nice big breath into the back of the shoulder blades, into the back of your rib cage, as if you're trying to breathe down into your low back. Take one more breath. And then slowly lift yourself up just enough so you can spin your legs off to one side. As we come down onto our back, we're going to elevate our hips into, to stretch out the front of the hips and the hip flexors. So if the yoga block feels too firm, a soft pillow sometimes is a nice alternate, or possibly even just rolling up your yoga mat so it gives you a slight little bit of lift, a slight bit of space in the front pocket of the jeans, but you always want to make sure your shapes feel good and comfortable. So come down onto your back, take a second just to do that moment to desensitize again. And then once you feel like your nervous system feels pretty cool, pretty good, you're going to lift your butt up, slide your yoga block or whatever soft tool that you want underneath your butt. So you're in that softly held up hip bridge position. We want to make sure the yoga block feels like it's underneath the bony structure of the hips. So it offers you that good solid support. You could give your tush a little wiggle. You feel like you could stay in place. Make sure it all feels good. Now we're going to slide the right leg long, flex your foot. Take your right arm and stretch it up above your head, spread your fingers, and then pandiculate. Think from heel to fingertips. Take an inhale and push through your heel, reach through your fingers, get that yawning, stiffening stretch. And then let your exhale soften, slide that right leg in, slide that right arm down, switch sides. Left leg slides down to the end of your mat, flex your foot. Left arm stretches up above your head, spread your fingers. Inhale and pandiculate. Push through your heel, reach through your fingers, get that yawning, stiffening stretch. And then exhale softens you, but now we're going to see if we can go both legs nice and long. So walk your right leg out to meet your left. Walk your right arm up to meet your left. Relax your toes. Let everything spill out. Let your hands be soft. Let your tops of your thighs feel soft. Make sure your butt feels comfortable enough on that block. Notice your breath. Ask yourself if you can reduce effort in your abdominal muscles. So we want to feel like we're getting a nice feeling of stretch through the front pockets of the jeans, low reduced effort, soft in the tops of your thighs, soft in the front pockets of your jeans, soft up into your abdomen. Let your awareness come down to your feet. Notice where your heels are connected to the ground. You're going to start to do like that mini corpse roll where you just sort of roll your toes and your knees so that they're now a little bit more intentional and toes and knees are pointing up towards the ceiling rather than spilled out to the left and to the right. Get that idea first. And then when you're ready, you're going to point your toes, spread your fingers, take an inhale and pandiculate, stretch from your fingers to your toes, get that good positive stress all the way through the front of your body, through your belly, through the front pockets of your jeans, over the tops of your shoelaces. Take that nice big yawning breath. Let your exhalation soften you, and then slowly, slowly, slowly slide your legs back into that bent knee position. Arms are going to float down so they come down alongside your hips. Anchor your arms into the earth. Now we're going to dorsiflex the feet. So pull up the toes and the balls of the feet so you get that tibialis lift. Those tibialis muscles in the front of the shins get engaged. Hold that engagement there. And you're going to push into your heels. Lift your butt up away from your block and then put a squeeze into your butt muscles. Don't let that squeeze go. Hold that squeeze. Slide your yoga block out from underneath your butt. Squeeze your butt muscles again. Don't let that squeeze go. Keep that good sturdy grip. And then one more time, you're going to hold that squeeze and put a little bit more squeeze into your butt muscles and hold that squeeze. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. And then soften your butt muscles just enough. One vertebrae at a time. Think upper back, middle back, low back. Hips touch down, Apanasana, knees to chest. Gently bring your knees up into a soft held position. Enough space between your thighs and your belly just so you feel that light touch of stretch come across your butt and then your low back. And then we're going to take our knees and draw them in some gentle circles. Circle in one direction. Take your knees and draw them in circles. Go the other way. One more circle around. We're going to step right into a figure 4. So left foot's going to step down to the ground. Right leg is going to hop over the left. Low figure 4, and you're going to tilt it off to the side just slightly. So you're going to let your arms come out nice and wide like your anchors, and then tip your figure 4 just slightly over to the left, just a touch. Take a breath there. Come back to center, and now you're going to lift your figure 4 up, and then you're going to tilt it again. So you're going to lift up just to a reasonable position, and then come back to that slight tilt over to the left. Hang there for just a second. Come back through center. See if you can bring the legs in just a touch closer and then a little bit tipped again. So tip them back over to the left just enough. And hopefully you just feel that little positive stress that comes down into your glutes, into your butt muscles. Hang there for a second. Notice your breath. All right, slow return to center. Float your left foot back down to the ground. Uncross to recross. Right foot's going to step down. Left foot's going to hop over. Low to start. You're going to tip just slightly over to the right. Hang there for a second. Notice. Come back up through center. Lift your figure four up to a nice loose hold and then a slight tip over to the right. One side might be very different from the other. You might have felt like tons of sensation on one side and then light sensation on the other. We don't hold perfect symmetry in our body. So it's just sometimes stuff shows up on one side that has more tension and then stuff might feel loose and relaxed on the other. All right, come back through center. Maybe bring the figure forward a little touch closer and then see if you can do that tip again. Tip slightly over to the right, just a little. Come back through center and then one last little lift. Find the space that feels available. That slight tip over to the right, just a touch. Notice. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly bring it back to center. Wind relieving pose. You're going to catch hold of your left knee and you're going to let that right leg unthread from behind it. Send your right leg nice and long and then re-grab, just holding that left knee in toward your chest. And then once you've got that left knee toward your chest, you're just going to let everything else soften. Let your right leg soften. Maybe it spills out to the side just a little bit. Let your butt and your tailbone get adjusted. Let your shoulder blades find a happy position. Put a little bit of length into the back of your neck and then reduce effort where you can. Soften your toes, soften the soles of your feet. Take one more breath. When you're ready, we're going to switch. Bring your right knee in, wind relieving pose. Left leg is going to go nice and long. Find your hand hold that feels comfortable. So we've got a little compression in the right front pocket of the jeans. Our right leg is in flexion, left leg is in extension. Let your left leg spill out just a touch so it's softly held. It doesn't need to effort too much. And then with this little touch of compression, you just say, can I send my breath all the way down through that open left side, down to my belly, down to the front pocket of my jeans, all the way down to my foot where my toes are nice and soft and my sole of my foot is as soft as it can be. Take one more breath. Left knee is going to come up. So you're going to think Apanasana, but then we're going to go like somewhere between happy baby. So your knees are going to come out just a touch wide and then you're going to kick your feet up. So there's a good bend in the knees and there's a little bit of width in your legs. Now your hands are going to find the outsides of your knees. And now we're going to add a little bit of muscular endeavor back in. So your hands are going to find the outside of the knees and you're going to push your knees into your hands and you're going to push your hands into your knees as if you're trying to make your legs wider, but your hands are going to try to help stop you. So you're going to hold this nice sturdy frame of resistance, push the knees out, push your hands in, hold steady for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften. Now bring your hands to the inside. I like to go elbows and forearms or elbows in back of my bicep. So get your arms to the insides of your legs, and now your arms are going to push out and your knees are going to push in. So now we get that oppositional tension. Knees push in, arms push out, hold that sturdy frame. For this one, I always feel my legs get that little shake, shake, shake. So you might notice a little shaking in your muscles. Let that do what it's going to do. Push your knees in, push your arms out, hold steady for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften, reverse table position. Now one hand on top of the left knee, right hand comes behind the right thigh. So now you're going to do an opposite push-pull. So your left hand is on top of the left knee. Your left knee is pushing up into your hand as your hand pushes down. And then your right hand holds onto the back of your thigh. Your thigh pushes down as your hand pushes up. So we get this opposite push-pull. Find that opposition and then hold it nice and steady. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften and switch. Right hand comes on top of the right knee, left hand comes behind the left thigh, and then we opposite push pull. So the right knee is pushing up into the right hand as the hand pushes down. The left thigh is pushing down into the left hand as the left hand pushes up. Get into your little oppositional hold and then hold that sturdy frame. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften, float your legs down, grab your yoga block. You're going to put your yoga block skinny setting between your knees. And this is our last hold. And then we're going right into our Shavasana. So put that yoga block between your knees and then push as if you're trying to crush that yoga block with your inner thighs. And you're going to hold that steady push. You're going to feel your inner thighs kick on. They're going to feel nice and alive. You may feel a little work coming from the outside of your hips. Find whatever work feels available. Push your knees into that yoga block like you're trying to squish it into the skinniest setting it could possibly be. Hold that steady push. You've got 3 more seconds to go. And then when you're ready, release. Take that block out from between your knees and then go to whatever feeling of restful position feels good. So maybe it's your more traditional Shavasana shape, corpse pose, legs nice and long, arms out nice and wide. Maybe it feels better to come into constructive rest. Let the knees drop into each other in that bent position. Maybe for some of us, just that big open hips position, go into your reclined butterfly pose. Go for the shape that feels like you don't have to work too hard once you get there. You can get your back comfortable. You can get your butt comfortable. You can get your shoulder blades in the back of your head nice and comfortable. And then just let the waters of your body soften down into that solid surface of the earth coming up to meet you and support you. always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, maybe start by just gently turning your head a little bit side to side, like you're trying to massage out the back of your head, not like you're trying to get some wild range of motion. So just a slow, soft head turn. We're going to do a quick cultivation of opposites, or Pratipakshavana. So it's a cultivation of just finding those little oppositional things within our own self. So we're going to take it down to our feet, and you're going to dome up your right foot, or scrunch up the bottom of your right foot as if you're trying to pick up the wall. So just scrunch up the bottom of your right foot, but keep your left foot as soft as you can, and just for a moment notice. And then soften your right foot as much as you can. And then take it over to the other foot. Scrunch up your left foot like you're trying to pick up the floor, pick up the wall, but keep your right foot as loose as you can. And then let that left foot go. And now we take it up to the hand. So your right hand is going to make a fist, a nice firm fist, and you're going to hold it nice and tight. And your left hand is going to curl up like you're catching a butterfly in your hand, and you got to keep it nice and safe. So right hand is making a fist, left hand catches the butterfly, and then let them both go. Let the butterfly fly away and soften your fist. And then we take it to the other side. Your left hand's going to make a firm fist, hold steady. Your right hand is going to catch the butterfly. Just cup the butterfly safely in your hands, hold both in that nice oppositional feeling. And then when you're ready, let the butterfly go and let your fists go. And then give everything a twinkle. Twinkle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your head, move your wrists, move your ankles, any of that lovely movement to come back in. Maybe a little windshield wiper action with your legs. If you went bent knee position, maybe you walk your legs nice and long. And then we take it into that pond stretch, or big good morning stretch. You're going to bring arms up above your head, point your toes, spread your fingers. Inhale and pandiculate, stretch from your fingers all the way down to your toes. Let your exhalation soften you, and slowly bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Sukhasana, crisscross applesauce. Sit on your yoga block, sit in a side saddle position, sit any way that feels really nice to you. Take a second just to come back to feeling that idea of supportedness. Feel that nice solid earth behind you and beneath you. Your nice bony structure holding you up. Let your eyes close down for just a moment. Shoulders soft, arms soft, fingers and toes soft. Take a nice, big, soft, filling up breath of love and gratitude towards yourself, for your mind, for your body, for all of your hard work. And then a soft exhalation to let go. Soft shoulders, soft armpits, soft jaw. Let go of anything you're holding on to from the practice that won't serve you for the next few minutes of your morning. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. You guys are amazing. Happy Tuesday.